Hey, what's up? My name is Tom Mizu. You're watching my channel, Mr. 14, and I'm here doing the review of Iyanla Fix My Life, Secret Curse, like mother, like daughter. This was a good episode, and what makes it so good is because is that sometimes family pathology is like a big thing that Iyanla has been promoting about is that how the family curse and family pattern always repeat itself in some way, shape, or form in your children and generation after generation if you don't nip it in the butt and don't cut the pattern of where it stops. And sometimes you have to be aware and you have to deal with that and be knowledgeable to know that this is an ongoing pattern and some way somebody got to step up and say, you know what, this ends here. So this what it's about is that a curse between the two mother and daughter is that they somehow mirror each other's lives in some kind of way, but they even know each other's story because it was not spoken, it was not talked about, it was not discussed, it was not revealed, and they kept it to themselves. And with that, it kind of like the identity has been taken away because at so young age, these both women have been violated so young that their childhood, their self worth has been damage. So they both came in and find out who are they basically at first. Not too much about parent relationship. That's some second. But the first thing is your self identity. Who are you as a woman? Who are they as Monique? Who is Cynthia? Who is Monique? Who is these two women that we sit and watching TV right now, watching these two ladies and their stories? Who are they? They themselves don't know who they are because they have lost their value of self. And since they lost the value of self, they disconnect everything. Their body, their mind, their soul. It just gave up. And now, ladies, years later, they want to reach out. Monique wants to break this curse because she has a daughter herself. She got two kids herself, and she don't want to bring it down to her daughter just the same way that her mother brought it down to her. The same way the Cynthia mother brought it down to her. And it's like, what can they do to break this? For all that to happen, they need to speak their truth. They need to come together and realize the truth that they have been holding on. And first, Iyanla went to talk to Cynthia. No, Monique, the daughter. Monique has to tell a sad story. She just said that when she was 6 years old, she was violated when she was really young by a couple when she was in foster care because her mom was at jail at the time. Because when her mom went to jail, they were live to the grandmother, and the grandmother couldn't take care of them, so the grandmother gave them up for I don't know how many kids, but she said them, so it's like they couldn't take us. So the grandma gave her up to foster care and child services placed in the foster care, and the foster care was not good. Sometimes kids go to great homes, sometimes more than likely kids go to bad homes, and this is one of the homes that unfortunately Monique got exposed to. What the couple was violating her, both couples, touching her, having sex with her and everything at a young age, at 6 years old. I can't imagine. So she was taught sex so early at 6 years old. She was taught how to be a woman way evolved, way advanced than what she normally supposed to be taught as a woman. Nobody sat down and taught her what's about sex. Nobody taught her about her body. She had to learn that the hard way. About some grown people telling her this is what it is. And then explain to us that she first had abortion when she was 12 years old. 12 years old, she was dealing with a 21 years old man. Violated, rape. That's basically child abuse. And with a minor as that. And she never told anybody how she got the money for the abortion. She never told her mom. She never told anybody about this. So what she had done is that she prostituted herself because it was the only man that wanted her. And then say, you know what? Since herself, and she knows that the sex is the only way to get people because that's what she was accustomed to give her body up for things that she wants, those things that is pleasure. So she said for her, I'll do something for you if you gave me something. So she got the money from the guy to get the abortion. And it's like damaging for her to if you go through that alone. And it's all boils down to that she has been abandoned, have felt unwanted, have felt unloved, alone in a situation that she couldn't speak. She wasn't comfortable to speak her truth. She wasn't comfortable for anybody because she didn't have her mom. Her mom wasn't around. She was in foster care, so she was alone. And since that abandonment, caused her to feel hurt, caused her to feel anger, caused her to feel disconnected for himself. So right now, she basically stuck at that 12 years old girl that now she's 30 something years old and she's still stuck in that time. She's still stuck for somebody who could reach out to her and hug her, reach out to her, comfort her, to love her, to nurture her. And she never had that. So it was like a feeling of loss and abandonment that caused her to be this way. And then it was an exercise that Iyanla had to show the mirror. And everything that was on red on the mirror is something that she can't change. It was experience, so that's nothing you can't change. You can't change the experience that you have. But anything that was black is something that you may feel or you may have felt at some point. But that could be changed. That pattern could be changed if you acknowledge that and get rid of that. But it was something that Iyanla said was alarming to her that she had never brought it up when they was talking. And that part is the word, big red words, cancer. And how, because your self-worth is, or not just about the existential value of who you are, it's also your physical being, your emotional being, your physical, the emotional, the spiritual being, your wholeness as a person is part of who you are. And the fact that she was not trying to acknowledge the cancer or not want to talk about it because she said, I really refuse to talk about it. I don't want to talk about it or stuff like that. And she kind of got a little defensive. She said, why you don't want to talk about that? It's part of who you are. She said, I just forget about that. Basically, last years ago, she went to a doctor and then somehow, somewhere, when she heard the word cervical cancer, she just checked out because she said she had a friend who had cervical cancer and she died from that. So when she did that, she refused treatment. She refused to go. She didn't even go back. She didn't even get treated. She didn't get nothing. She let that go. And Iyanla said that's alarming because you can't escape the truth. Your physical well-being is something you have to take care of. And if you don't take care of it, you're going to lose your health early. And cancer going to take care of you. If you don't enjoy your life, cancer will enjoy your life. And that's like a sad truth to go by it. Because sometimes you have to face the truth of reality. Sometimes things happen to you can't control. And it'll be a part of you for the rest of your life. And then you ought to checked out or do something about it. And part of her self-worth and part of her being is to acknowledge, accept the truth that she may have cancer. And it's the fact that she ain't go back. It could fester, it could control her body. And it could kill her off. And she got 2 kids. And then, which her mother left her, she could leave her kids early as well, and then her kids could be just like the same boat as her, feel abandoned, feel left out, feel without their mother a day around. So if she don't take care of herself, she can't really expect to heal. And part of her healing is to acknowledge the fact that she has cancer, and that's a hard truth about anybody to experience that. Not just cancer, any health issues. That's part of who you are, and you just cannot deny that or ignore the fact that that's part of you. It doesn't make the whole of you. It doesn't make that thing your whole being. But that's part of your being. And your physical well-being is a part of you identifying your self-worth. And you had to take care of everything. And since she was so young and she just felt that everything would take away from her, she didn't have no control. Since her control is no control of her self-worth, and she didn't have no control of her body, her emotional being, her verbal things. So Iyanla asked her, how do you interact with your mom? She said she mainly curses at her mom, and she yells. They do a lot of yelling and cursing. And then she in turns yell and curse to her kids. And she don't want that to happen, but she realized that's happening because she felt hurt. And she just said this one thing is that I just want to hurt people like people have hurt me. And it's like, because she got hurt, she want to hurt people. So that's exactly what it is. Like the pain she feels, she want to lash out that pain. And no matter who it is, sometimes you don't intentionally want to do that to your kids, but that's sometimes it happens that you latch out to your kids as something that they have done, and it's something they have no control over. They didn't do that to you, what you have been going through. But it's that that's an outlet of your being. That's the outlet of your source. And I can experience that firsthand how that been happening. And it got better now, but I won't go into details. But I can feel that sometimes my upbringing my mother sometimes feel like she could latch out at us, at stuff that happened to her, and we had no control because we wasn't a part of what happened to her. But the fact that it's a product of what happened, she feel like it's a reminder of her childhood. And to this day, and I'm glad that she's open and spoken about it because it's a love that she feel that she need to let her kids know about the reality in the world and appreciate that. It's made her stronger now. That we so close because she's open and honest. If she wasn't doing that, then we don't know how my siblings and I would grow up if it wasn't honest about her truth. And I'm glad that she was open and honest about her. So it's just like sometimes you have to be willing to share that and be open and not that and not to feel like you're not alone. And the fact that you've been hurt, that you feel like somebody should hurt is something that we need to get that under control. So she didn't want to be alone, and she don't want to. She want to just hurt people because she had been hurt herself, and that's just like a damaging thing to go through. Now, that's why I said it's like the mother and daughter is a reflection because the mother had a similar background story, but her story is that when the mother, because the mother said she realized she had to own up to it that she had been a horrible mother because she hasn't been there for her kids like she needed to be. That they needed her when she needed them, and she left them alone. It's like when she growing up, she was in the streets. She got arrested. When she went to jail, the kids got put up for foster care, and she was like, when she was growing up, her mother left to define herself. Just like her mother went to find herself, probably had some issues and baggage of her that was never been told to her. So it would probably be a similar story to what Cynthia was going through. But Cynthia had to realize that why my mother abandoned me. Just like Monique felt like Cynthia, her mother, is abandoned her. And so she was a thing. She saw her grandmother was adopted and all that sort of that. And I guess the grandfather, whatever, they blurted out. But somebody molested her when she was 6 or 7 years old, just like when Monique was molested 6 or 7 years old. See how the secret curse came about? It's like they both mirrored each other's lives, and they never knew each other even existed. They never knew each other having stories happening to each other because they never say anything. They kept it to themselves. The fact that both the mother and daughter experienced the same kind of generation curse, that's something that it had to be like cut down, and that's something that Iyanla wanted them to experience, to tackle on, and to cut it off, so Monique won't pass down to her daughter, Cynthia granddaughter. It was like it was a really touching episode because I got emotional and cried myself in some parts about it because it's like it's so damaging that these two women not having really had a great relationship, but so much similarities that they could foster a good relationship if they'd be open and honest with each other and not use hurt and pain to lash out at each other because they never grew up. Because they both, like, and now is stuck at that young age, that 12 years old girl who was lost, who was not loved. And even Cynthia said that she feel like, because when she was with her grandma, not only the molestation was happening, she was getting beat every day by stitching cords and stuff like that by her grandma. Keep beating her. When she got pregnant, and she kept getting beatings while she was pregnant with Monique. And like the mother was like beating her with stitching cords, beating with hangers, with boards, with broomsticks, sticking in her to make her lose her baby and everything. And it's like it was terrible. So she didn't have nowhere to go because, and even then with the guy she was dealing with, so like that, it was abusing her too. So it was like that's what she knew about. That's what she was accustomed to, the abuse. And how the abuse keep going on, and just like how Monique has been abused as well herself, that pathology has curse need to be broken off, need to be cut off right now. So basically, and then at some point, Cynthia said something the same thing that Monique said, and they wasn't even together in the same room. And Iyanla said that's interesting how Cynthia just said she broke down. One point she broke down. She said, "Speak it. You don't have to make sense. To speak what you're saying right now." She said, "I feel like I want to hurt people just like how people hurt me." Exact same thing has Monique said. It's exactly the thing that Cynthia was saying. And it was like, wow. Both at different times said the same thing. So it's like they more alike than they don't even realize. So the next day, And Iyanla had both Cynthia and Monique sit down and they talked to them. And they said, like, she pulled out cards. She said, "What's going on?" Because Monique came like so anxious and like so like mental block or something like that. And she said, "What's that?" She said, "I just so anxious and nervous about something." Because she said, "I was sitting in the room being alone. It's like with that, and I didn't want to have happen." And then Iyanla put out a card that said, "I don't want to be alone" or something like that. Something they both had said. And Cynthia was realizing that. And then there was another card that said that I just want to hurt people like how people hurt me. They both just saying the same things. It's like at different time, and you both wept at the same time when y'all said that situation. So it was like, yes, this is something that needs to be handled because exactly the same thing, and y'all can help each other if y'all let each other in, and that's exactly what it needs to be. So, Iyanla gave Monique a chance to tell her story, and let Monique, not as a mother or daughter, as woman, to tell their story. And Monique tell her story. She said, "What age you have been listed?" It said 6. And when Cynthia heard that, she said, "6? You too? No, 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 no." She got up and she got destroyed. And Iyanla said, "Monique, Cynthia, you got to sit down. You got to sit down and her talk. You don't get the right to leave. You got to sit down and talk." She said, "You too?" Because at the same time, Cynthia had been molested when she was 6 to 7 years old. So it's just like, it was a generation like that. It's just like a reflection. It's like a split image of realities facing each other. And so she said, "You know what? You gotta hold your daughter. That's what she wants. She wants to speak." And as she held her daughter, and said, "I got you. You gotta give her comfortability." And they say, "You know what? I'm sorry that I feel you uncomfortable. I make you feel uncomfortable to even share your story." And that's not one of my intentions. It's like, I didn't allow you to be comfortable to talk to me about it. And that's what needs to be healed. You need to say you forgive them, get the forgiveness out, and ask for forgiveness because you didn't know the tools. Cynthia herself didn't have the tools, but right now she's 51 years old. It's not so much the people who abuse her. Now she abuses herself, and Monique at the same time abusing themselves, and they need to break that abuse of their own selves. It's like, yes, what happened to you was damaging, but now you older now, and you got kids, you got somebody you got who looking up to you, and if you don't break that, then they gonna continue on and curse. And so she just asked for forgiveness, and it said, "I hear you, and I'm there for you, and everything," and it just heartened that you had to go through this. Like after that, the next day, day 2, they came back together and they sat face to face, and it gave Monique a chance to hear her mother's story. And Monique was telling her story. No, Cynthia was telling her story that how her pregnancy, how she was getting beat, and how she was getting broomsticks and stuck in boards and stuff like that, just giving her a baby. And Cynthia was upset, and not Cynthia, Monique was upset. She said, "You knew that was wrong. You knew this was wrong." And Cynthia got defensive, and Iyanla was telling her, "Don't get defensive because this is the two things. You lashing out as a 12 years old girl. She lashing out as a 12 years old girl. Y'all not lashing out as adults. Y'all lashing out as 12 years old who've been hurt, and y'all want to fight each other. You're not fighting each other when y'all was now. Y'all fighting each other because y'all both been 12, and y'all stuck at that age, and you have to heal, grow, and heal from that age, and grew up your maturity to handle the reality of what is right now." And going that, and it wasn't so much that Cynthia was blaming, Monique was blaming Cynthia. It's like she was just angry at the situation that she knew that she couldn't control. I was telling Cynthia, it's like, Monique, is that your mommy couldn't control it. She had no known better. She was no tool. She had no control, just like you had no control what happened to you. And so you had to see beyond that and work beyond that and go past that and have the power to cut that off. It's like, just like you had the power of sponging on that negativity of the hurt, or the unwantedness, of the loneliness, of the abandonment. You just had the power to cut it off. Cut all that negativity. Cut that power of feeling abandoned. Cut the power off. Work on accepting the healing. Work on accepting the self-worth. Work on accepting each other as mother and daughters. Work on building each other up. And that's what the power to it is. So when they went back to the day in the mirror, they erased up all the black things. The red things is still there because they can't control that. And Iyanla said, this is thing, you still gotta own up to that and sit there and realize that yes, this is something that I'm gonna have to be own on to, her cancer, and it's that it's part of her, and we need to work on that. And so later at the end, they had a little doctor, and the doctor told her that the doctor, when she reached out to her doctor that did the exam, they had found some precancerous cells and they froze that out, and so it will continue on. So long story short, she doesn't have cancer, but she needs to continue to get screens of it so you can continue on monitoring your health. And that's why I guess afterwards they had a little thing and it showed that Monique has been going to the doctor and still getting screenings and working on promoting her self-worth and health and making sure her health is in check. And both Cynthia and Monique is using the tools to work on strengthening their relationships. Like I said, this was a good episode. I had enjoyed it, and it's so much to learn from that, because there's a lot of families out there right now is going through the same thing, that people don't talk, they don't say anything, and they may have to. It can help heal your relationship, heal your family, because a lot of families right now is angry and bitter at each other because it's some unwritten, spoken truth behind their family background and dynamics that it had never been spoken to because nobody say anything. Until y'all get that talk to each other and work this out, then y'all would never hear from each other. And I hope that people who watch this video or watch that Iyanla episode realize that yes, you get hurt, but it's okay to seek for help. Seek help. If you don't like professional help, get somebody else in a family member who wanted to sit down and talk to you. Don't keep this in, because if you keep this in, it will damage you. It will bother you. It will fester the cancerous in your body, that it will just let you down a path that you just want to hurt people. And that's the thing that you're trying to get out of this. So I hope that people realize that yes, if you've been abandoned, you feel alone from your parents, it's time to sit down and talk to your parents and realize what's happening and what can y'all do to build and to heal from that. And like I said, I enjoyed this episode. I will wait till next week for another episode of Fix My Life. And I want to congratulate and appreciate anybody who has been watching my videos, especially my Fix My Life videos had getting the most views out of all of my videos I ever done. And I want to appreciate everyone who's watching it, making comments. And also, if you get a chance, please subscribe to my channel, hit that red subscribe button. I'll talk to you all next week. Peace.